Hey everyone, Dan with Mac Rumors, and in this video we're going to take a look at the new 2018 MacBook Air and compare it to the previous generation, which Apple is actually keeping around as a lower price option. The differences between the two machines are fairly obvious right off the bat. The first thing you'll notice are the new color options that are available with the new MacBook Airs. It now comes in gold, like the one that we have here, and space gray, along with the traditional silver that was used in past machines. The next major difference is the overall footprint of these two machines. The new MacBook Air is considerably smaller than the older generation. It's actually thinner and lighter, and it takes up less volume, although some of these differences are just not as noticeable as others. The quarter-pound decrease in weight, for example, is not quite as noticeable as one might think. Both machines are already light as it is, and the difference between the two is negligible. Now, the right and left sides of the MacBook Air still have that signature taper towards the front, which really gives the Air a unique look compared to something like the flat and even frame found on the MacBook Pros. There's no doubt that the new MacBook Air feels more modern and more premium compared to the last generation. The I/O ports have also changed considerably, with the standard USB-A ports, MagSafe charging port, and SD card slot eliminated in favor of two USB-C Thunderbolt 3 ports on the left side and a single 3.5mm headphone jack on the right side. Thunderbolt 3 enables connectivity with 4 and 5K displays, faster external storage, eGPUs, and more. So when you open up the two laptops, the differences are even more significant. The big draw to the new MacBook Air is no doubt its updated display, with smaller MacBook Pro style black bezels and a fantastic Retina resolution, a major upgrade from the standard display on the older MacBook Air. The shift in screen clarity, resolution, and sharpness is very obvious, and it's just an all-around better viewing experience. I do want to point out that not everything is perfect with the new MacBook Air's display. It's adequate when indoors and in darker rooms, but in brighter conditions, I always find myself pressing the brightness key, hoping to make the screen just a bit brighter than it will go. Even though the overall quality is not as great on the older model, the brightness was never a concern for me. Regardless, this isn't enough of an issue for me to even think about recommending the older generation's display over the new MacBook Air. In fact, that's kind of the main overall theme of this video, and it really shouldn't be a surprise to most of you out there. The speakers have improved, the trackpad is now a larger Force Touch trackpad, which is better in my opinion, and the keyboard now has the 3rd generation butterfly keys. Now, I know a lot of you out there probably prefer the keyboard from older models, but I'm personally a fan of the new keyboard. This MacBook Air also comes with Touch ID, which is located in the top right corner of the keyboard. Now, it actually seems a bit faster to me than the fingerprint sensor on my 2018 MacBook Pro, which is a bit strange, but I'm happy to see Touch ID make its way into the new MacBook Air. The internals are newer, faster, and more powerful compared to the internals in the previous generation MacBook Air. In fact, I actually edited our unboxing video of the new MacBook Air using Final Cut Pro on the MacBook Air itself, and it performed really well. Editing 4K video with the base model is possible, and the fans only ever really kicked on once during export. It did take a pretty long time to actually export that video compared to some of my other machines, but overall I was very impressed. Battery life has always been a key MacBook Air selling point, and it is a major reason why people choose the MacBook Air. In my testing, battery life with the new model has been pretty similar to that of the previous generation, which is very good, but Apple specs actually suggest the newer model has longer battery life. And sometimes I've just found that to just not be the case. Of course, battery life will be different for everyone, and it really just depends on what you're doing with your MacBook Air. So to sum this up, if you're looking to get a MacBook Air and you're wondering if it's worth getting the entry-level 2018 model, that starts at $1,199 instead of the cheaper $999 previous generation machine, I can recommend with 100% confidence that people should choose the new MacBook Air. It's just a better experience in nearly every way, and it's well worth the extra $200. I can't stress that enough. So let us know your thoughts on the new MacBook Air, and if you're considering either of these two machines, which one you'll go with in the comment section down below. This has been Dan with Mac Rumors. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.